In a quiet town, there lived a humble pastor and his family. Their home was filled with love, prayer, and peace. Some mocked them, saying they were too holy, and others admired them and wished their home were like others. The pastor's daughter, Deborah, was a gentle and a godly young girl. Everyone spoke well of her. Parents often said to their children, "Be like the pastor's daughter." Deborah always listened to her parents' teachings, and she promised herself that no matter where life took her, she would never disappoint them or God. When Deborah gained admission into university, her parents prayed for her and reminded her, "Hold on to your faith, my child." At first, she did. She prayed, studied, and stayed away from trouble. But soon, her roommates began to laugh at her. "Look at this one," they said. "She's too holy for this world." They mocked her prayer life, refused to talk to her, and treated her like a stranger. She felt lonely, deeply lonely. The desire to belong began to grow in her heart. Slowly, Deborah started to change. She began to dress like them, talk like them, and think like them. She ignored her parents' advice and began to care more about people's thoughts than what God says. At home, her parents were proud and full of confidence. They believed their daughter was still faithful. They never asked much about her school or spiritual life. They trusted her completely. But Deborah was no longer the same. She was living a double life, a saint at home, but a sinner at school. She thought she was protecting her parents from shame, not knowing she was losing herself. Her study suffered, her prayer stops, and slowly she became a stranger to God she once loved. One night, Deborah's father had a troubling dream. He saw his daughter walking in darkness, far from home. He woke up afraid but said, "The devil is a liar." A day later, her mother had the same dream. They both prayed briefly and ignored it. Then one night, the dream came again, clearer and stronger. This time, the pastor saw his daughter pregnant and trying to take it out. He woke up shouting her name, Deborah. This was not an ordinary dream. Heaven was speaking. Her father called with a trembling voice, "My daughter, are you still walking with the Lord?" Deborah's heart raised. She wanted him to end the call quickly, but when he had told her about his dream, she froze. She knew her father, a man who never spoke lightly about spiritual things. That night, Deborah could not sleep. She remembered her past life, her prayer life, her parents' loves, and all the warnings she ignored. She wept and whispered, "Lord, forgive me. Please, don't let my story end in shame." During the holiday, Deborah returned home with heavy heart. That Saturday, she went to church again. As the choir sang, she felt something she had not felt in a long time, the touch of the Holy Spirit. She fell to her knee and cried out, "Jesus, take me back." Later that evening, she told her parents everything, the lies, the sin, the pain, and the regret. Her mother cried bitterly, blaming herself for not watching closely. Her father wept quietly, remembering the dreams he ignored. But they held her hands and prayed. That night, she spoke, "God, forgive me," and peace returned to her heart. From that day, Deborah became a new person. Her mother prayed for her daily, watching over her with love, thought her past could not be raised. Her faith became stronger than before. The same people who mocked her began to see the light of Christ in her again. She stopped caring about opinions and focused on what God thought. Slowly, Deborah rose again as a living testimony of faith. strength, and grace. My dear listeners, holiness is not about being perfect, but about standing firm even when the world laughs. And when you fall, don't stay down. Rise again, for God is merciful, is greater than your mistakes. The story of Deborah, pastor's daughter, remind us that no matter how far we wander, heaven is always waiting for our return.